Hey friends, it's Mike here at Guitar Tricks, back with another video series, this time on tapping. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell. And while you're at it, hit that like button. It would really help out. Now, back to the lesson. In this first video, we're going to put the pick down and just get comfortable with getting this technique under our fingers. The first thing that you need to do is experiment with which finger you want to be your tapping finger. And most players use either a combination of their index or middle finger. So pick one of those right now. Like I said, get rid of your pick for now. And what we're going to do is just practice this while holding down one note, in this case on the B string 5th fret, okay? And what I'm going to do is practice tapping on to the 12th fret of the B string. So this is one of two things you can do with your tapping finger, is either hammer on or pull off with it, okay? And we basically say tap on, tap off with it, okay? So the first part is just getting comfortable with learning how to tap on to a note on the fretboard. So I'm using my index finger for this, and as you can see, I'm just resting my thumb and some of my other fingers onto the fretboard lightly, just for a little bit of leverage, okay? You're gonna wanna like slide up and down the fretboard a bit, depending on what you're doing, but this will give you a nice little guide for you. Of course, that's entirely optional. A lot of people just tap sort of hanging in the air freely, so whatever works best for you. All right, so let's get this note ringing out, and then what I want to do is practice tapping onto that note with some force, enough force that it sounds at the same volume of the note I already have going. Okay, that's what we're aiming for. If you go too light with it, the note kind of dies off a little bit. Okay, so we want it to be kind of consistent to what we have going on with any notes that we're playing on the fretboard with our fretting hands. So it requires a little bit of force. We're aiming for the fret right in between the fret wires, okay? All right, so that's the first component of tapping, is just this hammer on. Okay. The next one is pulling off that note to the note that you're holding below. And there's two ways you can do this. You can either pull off the note downwards towards the floor, or pull it off upwards towards your chin. So the first one downwards looks like that. I'm kind of flicking it away from the fretboard. All right, and the other way is to come towards you and sort of pull up off the string and pluck it that way. Okay, so once again, there's no right or wrong answer on this. It's about experimenting and finding which one feels the most natural to you. All right, once you've got that going nice and slowly and the notes ringing out nice and clear, we want to start to add in some other notes with our fretting fingers. And one of the most common ways to do this is just to add one more note onto the fretboard with our fretting fingers and combine it into 3 notes. So we've got 2 notes that are fretted on this hand and 1 note that is tapped up top. Okay, so I'm going to use the 5th fret of the B, going to the 8th fret of the B, and tapping on the 12th fret. This is a very common figure that's used in a lot of soloing and songs and whatnot. Okay, so what you want to find out is the direction that this is going, and there's sort of 3 combinations. So I can go all upwards, 5, 8, 12, and repeat that. Okay, so it's a little tricky at first because you're hammering on to the 8th fret here with your fretting hand, tapping on 12, but then when you let go, you want to let go to reveal back to the 5th fret there. So you have to let go of the 8th fret somewhere in there. Okay? So go slow with it at first and just make sure you're doing it nice and cleanly. The speed will come later after lots of repetition at slow speeds. Another way to do it is to go 12, 8, 5 and repeat that. So I'm hammering on first. Okay, and then doing all pull-offs. Okay. One final way to do it is go up and down. So we're starting low, going up, and then coming back down. Okay. So work on these simple exercises at first, nice and slow to get this technique under your fingers a little bit. And in the next couple videos, I'm going to show you all the sorts of tips and tricks of how we can use this in all sorts of different ways. What other tips would you like to see here on this channel? Please leave a comment and let me know. And be sure to check out guitartricks.com for more in-depth, step-by-step lessons. All right, I hope this helps you out, and we'll see you on the next one.